Lewis Hamilton is at the center of attention yet again, and the official requirements of his future contract with Mercedes have officially been revealed. What seemed to be a very simple thing turned into a saga that could end very badly for both sides, as Mercedes is not willing to invest in what Hamilton is looking for, making this entire situation even more dramatic than it needs to be. So, with this in mind, what is it that the seven-time world champion wants from Mercedes but they are not willing to give to him? Ever since 2013, Hamilton and Mercedes have embarked on a journey to become one of the greatest teams in the Formula One world. Previously with a lot of help from Michael Schumacher, Niki Lauda and Ross Brawn. However, the greatness of Hamilton is the one that saw him earn 6 championship titles, only losing out in 2016 to his teammate Rosberg and in the last 2 years to Verstappen. But even with this in mind, it is without doubt that Hamilton would go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, drivers of all time, and that is largely thanks to the machinery that Mercedes provided for him. But if there is one thing that we cannot do, it is to live in the past, and that is something Mercedes knows perfectly well. Hamilton's prices are really staggering, but for the entire situation to be even more dramatic, the team has no issue paying him what he wants as an F1 driver. But they are not ready to commit to the ambassadorial role that Hamilton has reportedly requested from Mercedes. As of now, Hamilton is seeking £50 million as a guaranteed pay for 5 years, with Mercedes having no problem paying that amount of money, as they would have had to do that anyways with his 2023 contract, had he been in the competition for the championship. But the longevity of the contract is the first thing that bugs Mercedes' eyes. The Brackley-based squad is ready to offer him a 1+1 contract, similar to what Alpine wanted to offer to Alonso last year, when the two-time world champion decided to embark on what seems to be the best journey of his life. But this is Hamilton we're talking about, and this is Mercedes, one of the teams that has the highest potential, apart from Aston Martin, to challenge Red Bull for the championship, a situation that Hamilton knows better than anyone else out there. Therefore, one couldn't help but wonder what seems to be the issue in the contract talks. Mercedes are doing perfectly fine with Hamilton, and he is here helping them try out the best development direction for the W14 and become the record breaker in the championships won in the sport, passing Michael Schumacher. Mercedes reportedly has no will to make Hamilton their ambassador, at least for now, as this is one of the main requests that the Brit has on his wish list. Not only that, but the amount of money he is seeking for this role and the time of commitment are also things that raised quite some eyebrows among Mercedes executives, as Hamilton is reportedly seeking $25 million per year as an ambassador for a 10-year period. This would make him one of the richest Formula One drivers in the world, as we still have no idea how much Verstappen will make beyond his 2028 contract, or whether the Dutchman will still be racing, as he's expressed his wish to try himself out in another competition. But be that as it may, the official reports say that Hamilton and Mercedes are currently miles away from reaching a contract, mostly because their interests differ to a very concerning point. Something that seemed like a situation that could have been solved over a coffee break, as elaborated by Toto Wolff, is now slowly but surely turning into a saga that definitely has the potential to break a couple of relationships in Mercedes and maybe even make Hamilton the persona non grata in the team. What is different now compared to the years in which Hamilton has continuously renewed his contract with Mercedes? Obviously, the fact that Hamilton found some strong competition in Russell goes on to show that Mercedes now understands that the future of the team may not be the 7-time world champion, no matter if we like that or not. And Russell may have the potential of being the next champion for Mercedes. For the paradox to be even bigger, Mercedes doesn't have an issue with signing the contract with Hamilton's £50 million request as an F1 driver, as the Daily Mail reported that Mercedes is not willing to commit to the ambassadorial role of Hamilton, one that the Brit is very desperate about and wants to follow the path of Mika Häkkinen. While this seems to profit Mercedes much more than Hamilton, as they'd have arguably the best driver of all time, promoting their brand from the outside and generating massive revenue for $25 million per year, it seems like the Silver Arrows currently have a lot on their mind, such as bringing the car to the optimal performance window. This has been further boosted by the latest development package the team brought to Monaco and will be exploited even further in Silverstone, where many F1 experts believe that the contract between Hamilton and Mercedes will be officialized. But according to Hamilton, the talks with the team are not something that you can get over with in the course of one day, and with this in mind, one couldn't help but wonder what comes next for the 7-time world champion. When talking about this matter, Hamilton went on to add, "We had a good meeting just recently. They are very complex contracts. It's not just a simple driving contract. Right now, I'm planning to be here and racing for a decent chunk of time. You have just got to explore all avenues in the sense of how you can continue to expand your partnership with such a great organization. It's not as easy as just saying go ahead and I don't have to be in a rush. We have talked several times. We have a great relationship. It will get done when it's done. If that's next week, in a month's time, as long as it's done, I'm not really bothered." What goes into this narrative is the fact that Hamilton has continuously expressed his will to maintain at Mercedes, even beyond his retirement from F1. But he is now even more willing to keep himself in the sport beyond his 40th year of life, a scenario that was not that visible after last year's fiasco. However, considering how close Mercedes is to building the perfect car for the next year and potentially 2023 in the second half of the season, the willpower and the fire have been awakened yet again in Hamilton's belly, which might be the main reason why he believes he still has at least 5 more racing years in himself. A statement he made earlier this year when he talked to Wolff about a potential renewal of the contract. Hamilton is also very proactive beyond Formula One, and apart from Vettel, he is one of the few drivers that is using this platform to support minorities and those who are in the biggest need, as he is exclusively part of the Accelerate 25 campaign, a Mercedes-owned campaign that promotes at least 25% of the employees to be from the minority group. Furthermore, the initial reports were that Hamilton would ask the team to directly fund his charity organization Mission 44, which helps the kids in the underfunded countries receive proper education and get out of the rotten system that their countries have put them in. But while this is all for a noble cause, Mercedes has finally understood that for the first time ever, they are the ones holding the cards in the contractual situation with Hamilton, which is why the 7-time world champion was officially asked to lower his requirements if he were to continue the collaboration with Mercedes. According to David Croft, a Sky F1 pundit, this is exactly where the clash between the two sides is happening. And when talking about this matter, he went on to add, "The devil is in the detail. Lewis wants to stay at Mercedes. Mercedes wants to stay with him. It will get done. It won't be about money, it will be about support for the Hamilton Commission, support with the various things Lewis wants to do, tie-ups in the future, maybe an ambassadorial role. There will be lots of different things that need sorting out, but it will get done. It wouldn't surprise me if it gets done at Silverstone. That would be a logical thing." With this in mind, Hamilton's saga with Mercedes continues, and whilst it's almost certain that he wouldn't leave the Silver Arrows and embark on a journey elsewhere, it's also noticeable that he is the one that does not have the upper hand in negotiating the deals right now, because of how the situation with Russell stands right now. An interesting period lies ahead of us, and although it doesn't seem like Hamilton will be the driver to start the silly season, seeing him back out of something he wants might have a negative effect on his relationship with the team in the near future, when Mercedes plans to actually compete for the championship.